Cinnamon Bear.
Well, Judy and Jimmy and the Cinnamon Bear were in a pretty pickle when we saw them last. They found the Crazy Quilt Dragon all right, but he'd been thrown into a short trance, as he called it, by the Wintergreen Witch, who made off with the Silver Star. So there was nothing to do but to try and find her. But what do you think? Nobody knew how to get out of the magic forest and back into the witch's house. Then Jimmy remembered the little whistle which Fee-Fo, the gentle giant, had given him, with instructions to blow it 3 times if help was needed. But Jimmy couldn't blow it loud enough, so Crazy Quilt volunteered for the job and took such a deep breath that he swallowed it. And as Jimmy says,
"This is the limit. What'd you have to go and swallow the whistle for?"
Couldn't help it. Slip.
Oh, dear. Now we'll just have to walk, and maybe we'll never be able to get out of this old forest.
What's the matter, Crazy Quilt?
He's got the hiccups. And every time he hiccups, it blows the whistle.
Quick, Crazy Quilt, do it again. That's swell. You blew it 3 times.
Good. Maybe Fee-Fo will come to our rescue.
Bless my stuffing, I can hear him now.
That's enough, Crazy Quilt. Fee-Fo heard you.
Can't stop. It just keeps...
Here I am, my little friends. Just as I said I'd be. But my gracious, you don't have to blow the whistle so many times.
We're not doing it on purpose, Fee-Fo. The Crazy Quilt Dragon's got it caught in his throat.
And every time he hiccups...
It whistles.
Well. Ho, 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 ho. I'll fix that. Just a pat on the back.
There it is.
Oh, what an ordeal. Why does everything happen to me?
Because you're always sticking your Crazy Quilt nose in somebody else's business, that's why.
So this is the Crazy Quilt Dragon you were looking for. And did he give you back your silver star?
No, he didn't, Fee-Fo, because the Wintergreen Witch did something magic to him and made him bring it to her.
Crazy Quilt says she's a terrible old witch. Does she scare you, Fee-Fo?
It all depends on what color she is.
That's right. Didn't you say she changed colors, Crazy Quilt?
Definitely. And you didn't believe me, Smarty. She changed from green to purple to red.
Oh, that's bad. When she's all right, she stays green. But when she gets a notion to practice magic, she goes all sorts of colors.
Well, no matter what color she gets, we've got to find her.
Yes, and that's why we called for you, Fee-Fo. We thought maybe you'd be real nice and take us back to the place where we came through the picture frame. We don't know which way to go.
I'd be glad to, only I'm sorry to see you leave the magic forest. It's awful lonesome here. Maybe you can come back and see me again, huh?
Willikers, I don't see how we can, Fee-Fo, on account of we've got to get our star and get back home before Christmas.
Oh, well, maybe someday you can. All right, everybody. I'll put the dragon on my left shoulder and the rest of you on my right. Up you go.
We're way up in the air again.
My, this is something new for me. My, you are a whopper of a giant, Fee-Fo. Simply a whopper.
Hold tight. Here we go. Here we are, folks. End of the trip.
What? So soon?
Sure. Fee-Fo's no slowpoke. Only takes a few of his big steps to get you someplace in a hurry.
All right, now. Down you go.
Gee, we're right where we came in, too. I can see right through the trees into the Wintergreen Witch's house.
Sure enough. There's a fireplace and all the pots in front of it.
Well, my friends, I wish I were small enough to go through the picture frame with you, but that's impossible. So I'll just have to say goodbye and good luck.
Goodbye, Fee-Fo. We'll never forget you.
You bet. And thanks a million.
Goodbye. And I hope the witch stays green.
Goodbye,
Bye,
Fee-Fo.
Gentle Giant.
All right, now, steel yourselves, everybody, and through the picture frame.
Okay, Cinnamon Bear, here I go.
And me.
And reluctantly, I.
room is empty. Not a soul here.
Splendid, splendid. Oh,
The witch.
Green Witch.
Right, my pretty dears, right. Thought I wasn't here, eh?
Hold my hand, Jimmy.
Excuse me, but I just remembered I left the water running in the bathtub. I'll see you later.
Me too. Come on, children. Out the door.
It closed itself.
Hurry, back through the picture frame.
Oh, it's nothing but a flat painted picture now.
Oh, trapped, doomed. This is the end.
Jiminy crickets. Look at the witch. She's changing colors.
Green and blue and purple and red.
Sit down, my dainties. Sit down and make yourselves comfortable, because you'll be here a long time. A long, long time.
What are you going to do, Mrs. Witch?
You'll find out. And don't call me Mrs. Witch.
Please, Mrs. Wintergreen, give us our silver star and let us go.
Yes, please give it back.
We've come an awful long ways to get it.
And after all, madam, what does a wonderful sorceress with your great power want with a paltry Christmas tree ornament?
I want it for my magic forest. That's something I've never had before. I'm going to hang it in the sky over the Black Lake.
Well, if we can't have the star, would you mind if we just sort of moseyed along?
No, you don't. I have other plans, my pretties. Other plans.
Well, I bet you can't do anything to Judy and me, 'cause we belong to the USA. And I bet you can't magic any American citizens, so there.
Besides, we don't believe in witches anyhow. They're just to scare people on Halloween.
So you don't believe the Wintergreen Witch can magic things, eh? I shall demonstrate. First, I open the door. Now, see how beautiful and clear it is outside?
Indeed, and how I'd like to be outside.
Now I'll close the door. And mumbo jumbo, hubba dubba ooh. Now I open the door again.
Gee willikers, look!
It's raining cats and dogs.
There. You've heard of it raining cats and dogs, haven't you?
Yes, Mrs. Wintergreen.
Now you've not only heard, but seen it. Do you still think the Wintergreen Witch can magic things?
Oh, no. You're truly wonderful. But won't you please let us go?
Yes, pretty please. We haven't done anything to you.
No, but I'm going to do something to you.
Oh.
There are several things I need around the house or in the magic forest, and you pretties have come just at the right moment. First, I think I'll change you twins into white mice.
Oh, please don't. Not mice. I don't like them at all.
And this crazy quilt dragon will look beautiful after I've changed him into a pincushion.
Oh, agony.
And as for this funny little bear, he'll make a lovely doormat with welcome on his tummy.
Oh, me poor stuffings.
Now be quiet while I prepare my magic.
Jimmy, if we only had something to make her forget about us and the silver star. Have you got anything she might like?
Gee, I don't think she'd like my knife, and my swell wristwatch is home in my bureau drawer.
I've got it. Maybe she'd like my little looking glass. Mrs. Wintergreen,
Yes, my pretty dear?
I have something much nicer than the silver star for you, and it's ever so much shinier. Look.
Ah! Take it away! Take it away! Don't you know witches can't stand to see their own faces? Take it away!
What a break. Keep on showing it to her, Judy.
No. Take it away. I'll do anything you ask, anything.
All right. First, you've got to let us go.
And promise not to do anything to us after we leave.
Oh, yes. But take that dreadful looking glass with you.
And you've got to give us back our silver star.
Oh, even that. Here.
Oh, Jimmy, at last we've got it back.
Open the door, witch, and make it snappy.
And foo for you, Mrs. Wintergreen. Come along, children.
The Isn't it swell, Judy? We've got the star and everything.
Isn't it beautiful?
Yeah, but we can't stop to admire it now. We got to rush right down to the shore and get back across the root beer ocean. Come on, hurry, everybody.
Do you think you can swim us all the way back, Crazy Quilt?
Absolutely. I'm plenty full of corks to manage it. Climb aboard.
I think I'd better carry the star.
But suppose a wave washes it away, or another whale swallows it.
Pardon the suggestion, but I've an ideal place for it. My hind pocket, the one under that big orange patch. It's waterproof and has a zipper.
Okay, Crazy Quilt. Unzip.
With pleasure. And in it goes. Zip again. And safe and sound. And hold on, my friends, for it's cheerio and into the root beer ocean.
You sure made good time, Crazy Quilt. Here we are back on the Maybeland mainland.
I can hardly believe it.
We're ever so grateful, Crazy
Oh,
Quilt.
not at all. But now that we're all hunky-dory, I must ask you to excuse me while I sit down and rest a bit from my strenuous swim.
Sure. You've got it coming to you, all right.
Uh-huh. I think this would be a lovely spot right here in the lee of this rock. There. Now I'll just lean back and...
What was that?
Oh, I fear my friends. Oh, I'm blushing red. Well, behold the star.
Willikers, it's busted.
In a dozen pieces. Oh, dear. We might just as well never have found the silver star as to have it broken.
Gee willikers, yes. Especially after all the things we did to get it back.
If you had to sit down, Crazy Quilt, why pick a rock to sit on?
Oh, I am abject. I'm speechless, but I beg you to realize that my mistake was unintentional.
Well, we know you didn't mean to do it. But gee, Crazy Quilt, couldn't you have used your head a little bit?
Well,
Don't go picking on poor Crazy Quilt. Of course he didn't mean to break the star, but making him feel bad isn't going to do any good. Oh, dear. We might just as well have Patty O'Cinnamon take us back to the attic again.
Yeah, I guess so.
Goodbye, Crazy Quilt. Thanks anyway for saving us from the Inkaboos and carrying us across the root beer ocean.
Yes, thanks for that, Crazy Quilt. You're a good dragon at heart.
How are we going to get back to the attic, Cinnamon Bear? The airplane is still at the bottom of Looking Glass Valley.
Maybe when Crazy Quilt has rested a little, he'll carry us a piece.
Oh, gladly. Anything to help atone for my frightful carelessness. Anything to... Wait!
What is it, Crazy Quilt? Have you got a pain?
A pain? No, I've a plan.
That's generally the same thing with you.
There's something that might be done yet.
Sure, and you've done everything that can be done, Crazy Quilt. You and your nonsense.
Just a minute, my feisty friend in the fur pajamas. Let me say my say.
Very well. What's on your alleged mind?
Why don't we go and see Melissa?
Splendid! Now, why didn't I think of that?
Who's Melissa?
Haven't you heard of her? Why, she's our queen, the ruler of Maybeland.
What could she do?
What can't she do, you mean? She's wonderful, so kind and generous. Everybody loves her.
That's swell. But what could she do about the silver star?
Anything, everything. She has wonderful powers. Nothing is impossible to her. Why, do you know once upon a time I had the great misfortune to fall into a lemonade wishing well, and all my beautiful colors ran together.
I'd sure like to have seen you then.
I shall overlook your remark. Oh, I was a mess. I thought surely I'd never be able to hold up my head in society. But I went to Melissa, and she restored me to my natural beauty and splendor.
She certainly has a marvelous reputation, all right. I've always intended to go to court sometime and see her for myself, but I never quite got around to it.
Oh, goody. Maybe she can help us. Where does Melissa live?
Oh, she lives in her palace in the capital of Maybeland. That's capital M. A bit southish of the Lollipop Mountains, right in the middle of Marshmallow Meadows.
Maybe she'll know some way to have the star all put together again.
I'm sure she will. Will you take us there, Crazy Quilt?
Certainly. I'm quite as good on land as on water.
Everybody help me pick up the pieces of the star. Jimmy, let me have your hanky. It's bigger than mine.
Okay. Here it is.
Ah, here are some pieces.
Yeah, and here are some more.
I think Jimmy and I have all the rest. Hold out your hanky, Jimmy.
Okay.
There.
All right, now, let's get started. Climb on, everybody.
Up you go, Judy. Up, Jimmy. Well, we're on. Outdo yourself, Crazy Quilt. Gallop of youth never galloped before.
This is the anteroom to the Queen's audience chamber. We'll have to wait here until time for us to see the Grand Wunky.
My goodness. How many more do we have to see before we get to see Melissa?
Yes, I never saw so many, whatchamacallums?
Secretaries.
Yes, things like that.
Oh, but you must remember, this is a royal court. You have to expect such things. After all, Melissa is the Queen, and she's much too busy to bother with people unless they have really important business with her.
Who'd you say we had to see now?
The Grand Wunky. He's sort of head of all the ceremonies and presents everybody to Melissa.
I wish he'd hurry. My stuffing's getting very tired.
Oh, I don't mind waiting so much. It's so beautiful. I like to look down that big staircase and see all the people passing up and down.
Oh, here you are, here you are. So sorry to keep you waiting, but you know how it is, so much business. Dear, 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 dear. Oh, you're not in court costume.
What's that?
It's what you wear when you come to see Melissa.
Well, never mind. It can't be helped now. I'll ask her to overlook the attire, inasmuch as you are unacquainted with court etiquette.
What does he mean?
He means that he's going to ask Melissa to skip it.
Oh, dear, 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 dear. Now let's see how we'll rearrange this. You're the Crazy Quilt Dragon, are you not? I'm sure I've seen you before. I'm very good at remembering places. I mean faces. That's my job. Now, where were we? Awfully nice of you to drop in and all that. Must come again sometime.
I'm Judy.
I'm Jimmy.
And I'm the Cinnamon Bear.
That's us, and we're very anxious to see Melissa. Is there anything special we have to do?
Oh, dear, 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 yes. The bow, you know, the bow. So.
I feel awfully silly doing that.
You don't have to. Just be polite, and that's all that's necessary.
And of course, I must announce you. Now let's see. What formation would look best? Let me see. The little girl first. Yes. Then I think the boy slightly behind her with the bear. Then the Crazy Quilt Dragon bringing up the rear guard.
Bringing up what? Does he have to carry something?
No. He's to stand behind you.
Well, why didn't you say that in the first place?
I just like hurrying you, Grand Wunky, but our time is short and our business very important. Now, you just sort of forget a few formalities and announce us to Her Majesty like a good Wunky.
I think everything is in order. Do you mind if I adjust your green bow, little bear?
I'd thank you to keep your hands off me bow, and my name is Patio Cinnamon, if you please.
Yes, of course. Now, I think we may enter now.
It's about time.
Ouvrez la porte!
What's that mean, that ouvre, well, what you just said?
Well, that's French for open the door.
Well, why didn't you just say open the door instead of that French stuff?
Because this happens to be a French door and won't open unless you speak French. So there. Ouvrez la porte! My, those hinges need oiling dreadfully. Must make a note about that. See about oil for hinges. Now, are we all hunky-bunky?
Yes, Wunky.
Dudley, the fanfare. Oh, thank you, Dudley. That was lovely. Thank you. Now, friends, you may enter the presence of Queen Melissa of Maybeland.
Ooh. Oh, my goodness. Isn't she beautiful, Jimmy?
You bet. Why, she's nearly as pretty as Mother, I'd say.
Look at her throne. It's all shiny.
All gold, children. 18 carats, solid gold.
It looks like there's something shiny all about her, too. It must be more magic.
It is. That protects her from anything touching her. Nothing could get close enough to hurt her.
I sure never saw anything like this before.
Will you please come closer?
Her Majesty desires you to approach. Be sure you don't go too close, however. Your Majesty, may I present Miss Judy?
How do you do?
Fine, thanks, but we...
Mr. Jimmy.
I'm so happy to see you.
And we're glad to see you.
And this is...
The Crazy Quilt Dragon, of course. How are you?
Oh, very well, Your Majesty. Thank you.
And last but not least...
Well, who is this fuzzy little person with the green ribbon round his neck? Who are you, little friend?
I'm the Cinnamon Bear with the shoe button eyes, and I'm helping these children recover a prize. It's a silvery star that was fashioned, you see, for the very tip-top of a big Christmas tree. Though we've hunted low and we've hunted high, we cannot get it back, no matter matter how we try. A most crazy quilt dragon made off with it first. Then a whale ate it up, but that isn't the worst. Oh, it's been through 100 adventures since then. We just lose it and find it and lose it again. So we've looked and looked till we're almost blue. And if you'll help us out, we're much obliged to you.
So you see, Your Majesty?
Call me Melissa, won't you? We're all going to be friends, and friends shouldn't be too formal.
That suits me. All this wonky business about bowing and everything.
I know how you feel, Jimmy, but I must give the Grand Wonky something to do. He'd feel very unhappy otherwise.
Well, you see, Melissa, the Cinnamon Bear told you part about what happened to our lovely Silver Star, but lots of things happened to it after that.
And the last thing was, the Wintergreen Witch cast a spell on me and forced me to steal the star and take it to
The
her.
Wintergreen Witch? Grand Wonky, make a note that I must take up the case of the Wintergreen Witch at my next council meeting. She's been practicing magic without a license.
No, dear me, yes, Your Majesty. Fix witch. Good and proper.
She was going to change us into things. Then I showed her a looking glass, and she got awful scared and let us go.
And Crazy Quilt took us across the Root Beer Ocean, but
he sat down on the star and broke it into a dozen pieces.
So we thought maybe you could help us get it fixed.
Of course I can help you.
You can? Oh, that's wonderful.
Now you just listen very carefully to everything I say, and your Silver Star will be restored.
You mean you can fix it so our Silver Star will be all together again and won't be broken like it is now?
That's exactly what I mean, Judy.
Jiminy Crickets. And we would be able to put it on our Christmas tree just like we used to?
On the very tip-top, Jimmy, and no one will ever know it was the very least bit broken.
Oh, that'll be wonderful.
Now, I will have to write a few simple instructions for you to follow. Grand Wonky, will you please get me my magic ink?
Yes, Your Majesty.
We're awfully grateful, Melissa. We were just about to give up and go home.
You bet. And after all the things we did to get the star, too.
Here's the magic ink, Your Majesty.
Thank you, Grand Wonky. And now I will write down the instructions for you to follow. There. Now, I've put the instructions inside this envelope, Jimmy, and you must follow them exactly.
Oh, goody. Let's see what we have to do.
Oh, I'm sorry, Judy, but you mustn't open it here.
Oh, why?
Because that would keep the magic from working. You see, restoring the Silver Star is going to take a special kind of magic. If it had been made in Mabyland, it would be simple, but unfortunately it was made in the world. And that's another matter. It will need quite a little extra work.
Will it be hard to do?
No, not hard, but you must do exactly as they say. And unfortunately, you can only read these instructions in total darkness.
But, Your Majesty, where can we find this absolute darkness?
Ah, that is a part of the magic that you must do for yourselves. But don't worry, friends. I know it will work out all right.
Gee, Melissa, I don't know how we'll ever be able to thank you.
It'll just make Christmas perfect, Melissa.
Allow me to express my deepest thanks, Melissa, for past favors and present courtesy. I bow.
I'm not fancy, Melissa, but I'm much obliged to you.
And you are all quite welcome, dear friends. I hope you will visit me again after the Silver Star has been restored to its original beauty.
We'd sure like to, all right, Melissa.
Then do so. And now, Grand Wonky, would you please set our friends on their way? I would be happy to entertain you in my palace for a while, but I know you're anxious to see your star mended and safe.
Yes, ma'am. Thanks so much, but we do have to hurry, kinda.
Yes, we've got to get it back before Christmas.
Well, goodbye then, and good luck.
Goodbye, Your Majesty.
Will you please follow me, single file, if you please, in the order in which you came in?
By the way, Wonky old thing, could you drop us some slight hint as to where we might find this absolute darkness of which Melissa spoke?
Well, I couldn't hint. It's ever so rude, but my duties as Grand Wonky to Melissa's court keep me quite confined. I don't know a great deal about the country of Mabyland at all, I'm sorry to say.
Oh, dear.
But I have heard. Now, mark you, this is only a rumor. I cannot verify it in any way. I have heard that the Wishing Woods are very dark. Extremely dark, in fact.
Do you happen to know the way to the Wishing Woods?
Oh, yes, I do. I'm happy to say. I got a good many travel folders on it before I went on my vacation. But Mrs. Wonky decided she'd rather go to the root beer seashore. And such a lovely time we had, too. Took a small cottage.
Yes.
Dear, now, where was I?
You were going to tell us how to get to the Wishing Woods.
Oh, yes, so I was. Well, it won't take you very long, not at all. They're directly north of the Marshmallow Meadows as the crow doesn't fly.
Well, thanks, Wonky. Much obliged for the assistance.
No, don't ever mention it. Just pop along down the marble staircase and straight ahead and... Dear. Almost forgot something. Here, this box is for you to take along with you.
What's in it, Wonky? Some more magic?
Oh, you'll find out when the time comes. And, here's the door. My, I must see about oiling those hinges, mustn't I? Such a racket they make. Well, I've got to be zipping now. Charming of you to drop in. Dudley, fetch the oil can, like a good fellow.
What a character. What a character. You'd never know he was around.
I thought he was sort of sweet, Crazy Quilt.
Just a windbag, that's all. Well, we better get started, hadn't we?
You bet. The sooner we get where we can read those magical instructions, the better I'll like it. Come on, everybody. Let's find the Wishing Woods. I wonder if this is the Wishing Woods.
Oh, I'm sure it is. There's a sign over there that says Wishing Wood.
Oh, I'm so glad. Look, there's another sign. What does it say?
Wait a minute. It's printed a bit smaller. Oh, S.S. Crocodile-esque.
What does that esque mean?
I expect it means to esque, S.S. Crocodile.
Oh, I guess he spells like me.
Have you still got the broken pieces of the Silver Star in your hanky, Jimmy?
Yep, safe and sound.
Well, you have Melissa's instructions, too, so I think I better carry your hanky for you.
All right. Here it is.
And now, shall we follow this little path? Seems to be as good as any. Maybe this crocodile person can give us some idea as to where it is totally dark in the Wishing Woods.
He might at that.
Cinnamon Bear, did you look in that box that the Grand Wonky gave you when we left the palace?
No, why?
I was just awful curious, that's all.
Well, there's no special orders about opening this, so here goes.
Oh.
But this my stuffing cinnamon buns.
Let me see. Oh, Jimmy, peanut butter sandwiches and apple pie?
And lollipops, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, boy. This is swell.
Oh, here's a note. My dear friends, I hope you will enjoy your picnic lunch in the Wishing Woods. When you have finished, tie up the box again, and the next time you are hungry, open it, and you will find another lunch. Love, Melissa.
Gee, Melissa sure's a peach, all right.
Well, far be it from me to call our gracious ruler by such a name, but she surely is kind and thoughtful.
Yummy. Such cinnamon buns. Chock full of currants, too.
My, I didn't know I was hungry, but I certainly was.
Delicious. I'll tie up the box just like she said.
Well, shall we be moving? Oh, I say, look ahead, down the path a bit.
My goodness, it's a bathtub.
Yeah, and it's a big white one just like we have at home.
What a strange place for a bathtub.
What's that funny noise?
It's coming from the bathtub.
Why, so it is. There must be something in it.
Oh, bless my stuffing, it's a crocodile.
It must be the one on the sign. S.S. Crocodile-esque.
Welcome to the Wishing Woods. Who am I? I can see it by the look in your eye. Ha ha! Why, I'm Snappersnick. Of course, and very pleased to meet you. By the way, who are you?
I'm Judy, Mr. What did you say your name was?
Snappersnick, little girl. And who are the rest of you?
I'm Jimmy.
Patio Cinnamon, the Cinnamon Bear.
I'm the Crazy Quilt Dragon.
Well. So kind of you to come all this way to see me.
But
I'm very glad you came today. There hasn't been a single person, and I was beginning to feel quite lonesome.
Well, you see...
Of course, I'm very comfortable with my bath, like my tub. Quite an acquisition it was, very. I got it when they redecorated the royal bath last spring. Genuine porcelain with chromium taps.
It's very nice, but
you say one can't spend all one's time in the bath. Ha-ha! That's because you've never thought of the bath in all its possibilities.
You are quite right,
Have you ever noticed the wonderful acoustics in a bathtub? Of course you haven't. Have you ever thought of a bathtub singing as a fine art? Again, you have not. But Snappersnick has. Oh, yes, indeed. That is why I've remained a hermit, as it were, in the midst of the wishing woods, perfecting my art until it can be heard in all its glory by the listening world. The first bathtub singer to be heard on the air. What a sensation! The bathtub baritone, Snappersnick, the crooning crocodile.
But we didn't.
But you didn't come to talk. You came to hear me sing, isn't that right? Well, your wish is granted. I'll sing without delay.
Hey, I didn't come to see you.
Oh, you didn't? Why didn't you say so?
Sure, and you didn't give us a chance.
These young people are on a very important mission.
Oh, indeed. And where did you come from?
Just now we came from the Queen of Maybeland.
Oh, dear, dear Melissa. And how is she? Always so kind to me, Melissa is so kind. Lovely girl, don't you think?
She's awful nice, all right. She's going to help us fix our silver star.
What silver star?
Ours. It belongs on top of our Christmas tree. First it got lost.
Lost? Oh, and don't I know how you must feel. Don't I, though? Last spring, I lost my voice.
Congratulations.
What do you mean, congratulations? For days I was petrified. And then my beautiful voice came back, twice as lovely as ever before. However, it's too bad you weren't here to notice the improvement. I'll demonstrate by singing my favorite number. That's why crocodiles were born, in the key of Q.
But we haven't time to listen. Besides, the star isn't lost anymore. We found it, and it got broken into a dozen pieces.
And Melissa gave us some wonderful instructions so we can get it all back together again.
But they aren't to be read except in total darkness.
Oh, most intriguing. May I take a squint?
Of course. They're right here in this envelope.
My, would you mind holding it a little closer? Broke my bifocals last week. Can't see worth anything.
There. You sure ought to be able to see now, Mr. Crocodile.
Ah, much better. Much better. Ha ha.
Hey, don't do that.
Well, I never.
Our magic instructions. He swallowed them.
A pretty kettle of kipper snacks this is. A pretty kettle.
Yeah. What do you mean by chewing up Melissa's important instructions, Snappersnick?
They were ever so valuable, and now we'll never know what they said, and we'll never be able to find out how our broken star can be mended.
My friends, don't carry on like this. Why,
Fine thing. I do believe you're the crudest crocodile I ever laid eyes on.
And just wait till I lay me cinnamon paws on him. I'll teach him a thing or two.
Splendid. Maybe you could teach me how to sing a low H flat, huh? I've never quite been able to swing it.
Well, if you didn't have such a big nose, I'd twist it. That's what I do.
Oh, dear. Do you suppose if we went back to Melissa, she'd give us some more instructions, Cinnamon Bear?
I'm afraid not, Judy. She'd probably think us very careless and unworthy.
Oh, come, my friends. Why so bleak? Don't be like that. Didn't you say you wanted to read the instructions?
Of course we did, you bad, bad crocodile. But how can we read 'em when you've got 'em inside you?
Didn't Melissa say those magic instructions could only be read in total darkness?
Sure, that's what she said, you big blunt-nosed bully.
But even if we did find some darkness like that, we wouldn't have anything to read in it now.
Aha! Did you ever stop to think that there's nothing more totally dark than the inside of a crocodile?
Goodness gracious me. That's certainly total darkness, all right. But you're not suggesting, my good fellow, that one of us climb in and read them, are you?
You bet he is. It's just a trick, Crazy Quilt. A low, deceiving, crocodilish trick.
Balderdash, my fuzzy friend. I'm simply trying to be of assistance. That's why I grabbed Melissa's instructions and downed them.
But that doesn't help us any. Even if they are in a total darkness now, we can't read 'em.
No, but I can.
Don't be funny, my bathtub baritone. How can you read them when they're snug in your tummy?
Ha-ha! Just a bit of Snappersnick service. But perhaps a little explanation is in line, huh? A little light on the subject?
You're daffy, just plain daffy.
Not at all. You see, I can't read a thing with my eyes. Not a word. Mother forgot to send me to school when I was a lad. Consequently, when I want to know something that's in print, the only thing I can do is swallow it, wait till it's digested, and then I know what it says.
You mean you just eat anything that's written, and you know what it is without looking at it?
Exactly. And a voracious reader I was in my day, too. Used to digest 3 or 4 mystery stories a day. Got 'em from a circulating library. But finally they took my card away because I never returned the books.
Oh, my goodness.
You seem to have too literary an appetite, I suppose.
Well, I couldn't return them, you see. Most annoying, too. Why, I haven't read any good books in ages. Have to content myself with old newspapers and magazines.
Then you can read Melissa's instructions.
Absolutely. Read anything I eat. In some ways, an advantage. I eat all my singing lessons, and the music, too. Incidentally, I have quite a repertoire of songs on tap. How would you like to hear me sing On the Road to Maybeland?
If you don't mind, we'd much rather hear you read those instructions.
Yes, please do, Mr. Snappersnick. How long does it take you to digest something so you could read it?
Well, that depends on what it is. Took me all last summer to digest half of Anthony Crocodile. Then I gave it up. Little too much of a meal. But these instructions are nothing. Should be digested by now.
Hurry up and read 'em, Snappersnick. We've got to get going.
Very well. Must close my eyes first so I can concentrate. There. Mm-hmm. Ah. My.
Tell us quick. What do they say?
Most interesting. Quote, Then Christopher Crocodile stared deep into Cynthia Crocodile's blue eyes and then... Oh, pardon me. Got mixed up with the short story I ate out of Crocodile Confessions this morning.
Oh, quit fiddling around and read the instructions, will you?
Right away. Here we are. Quote, The wishing well is where to go to find out what you want to know. Unquote.
Gee, that doesn't say how we can get the Silver Star put back together again.
It just tells us to go someplace. Are you sure you read them right, Mr. Snappersnick?
Positive. Right there in black and black.
If you'll remember, Judy, Melissa said it would take a little extra magic to fix the star. This just means we'll have to go to the wishing well for further instructions.
That's it. Do you know how to get to the wishing well, Snappersnick?
Not exactly. I never venture very far away from my blessed bathtub. But they tell me it's in that direction.
It is? Come on, everybody. Let's get started.
Yes, let's. Thanks so much, Mr. Snappersnick, for reading Melissa's instructions and everything.
Oh, glad to have been of some assistance, and sorry you can't stay to hear me sing a bit. Really remarkable voice, you know. May do a little opera next season.
And thanks again. Thanks again, Snappersnick, and goodbye.
Yes, goodbye, Snappersnick.
So long.
Ah, yes, goodbye, my friends. Regret I can't walk away with you, but must practice my scales now.
Well, I guess everything has turned out for the best after all.
I guess it has, all right. But my goodness, who'd have thought of reading those instructions in a crocodile's tummy?
I was all ready to bust him one.
It certainly was as close to total darkness as you'd be able to find anywhere.
I wonder what we'll find out at the wishing well.
Which wishing well do you think we're supposed to find? There must be more than one. That's why these are called the Wishing Woods. I fell into a lemonade wishing well once upon a time, you remember. But I didn't think to make a wish to keep my colors from running.
I suppose we have to wish that the stars put back together again.
Oh, that sounds logical.
Gee, what's that?
Sounds just like a clock. Well, what would a clock be doing here?
I'm sure I don't know, but we find many strange things in the Wishing Woods, you know.
It sounds like it came from over there. Let's go around this tree and see where it comes from.
My goodness. It looks like a feather duster, but it's got shoes on.
Yeah, and they look just like those old shoes of Uncle Jed's up in the attic.
Yes.
I know what it is. It's an ostrich. I've seen pictures of him.
Ahoy, friend ostrich. My word, he's got his head stuck in the ground.
Who's there?
Just us, Judy and Jimmy.
Paddy O'Cinnamon and yours truly, Crazy Quill.
I'll be right out.
What do you suppose he's doing with his head stuck in the ground that way?
Maybe he can tell you, Judy.
Hello, my friends, and what can I do for you today?
Well, we were just wondering.
About that ticking noise.
Oh, that. Just my breakfast, mate. It's a lovely green alarm clock.
Alarm clock?
Yes, indeed. Oh, it was a beauty, all right. Most refreshing.
Jimmy, I remember that ostriches eat awful funny things. Don't let him see the broken star. He might take that away and eat it.
Pardon me, little lady. I couldn't help hearing what you said. Very keen ears, you know. You don't have to worry about my eating anything you may happen to have with you. I'm not like other ostriches. I'm delicate. That's what I am. Delicate. I'm an ostrich as knows what he likes. If you don't think I am, you're mistaken. My favorite dish is divinely delicious. It's scrambled alarm clocks and bacon. Some ostriches go in for dainties, like hot water bottles and socks. They rave about lampshades and doorknobs, but stick up their noses at clocks. I've tried everything in the cookbooks, and of all of the food I've partaken, there's nothing so yummy or good for the tummy as scrambled alarm clocks and bacon. Just follow my simplified diet for peaceful, contented insides. Alarm clocks will stifle your hunger and call you for dinner besides. You can set all the clocks that you eat for the next time you wish to awaken. And when they start clanging, you're up with a bang, and it's scrambled alarm clocks and bacon. Strike me pink, dear, scrambled alarm clocks and bacon.
Very good. You certainly are a very unusual bird, Mr. Ostrich.
Holliver's my name, little lady, and you don't have to put an handle to it. Just plain Holliver. But I will admit to the unusual without too much boasting.
Would you mind telling us why you put your head in the ground?
Not at all. Just having had my breakfast, I was indulging in a spot of meditation.
He means he was thinking, Judy.
Oh.
And I always thinks best with me head that way.
Do you know which way it is to the wishing well, Oliver?
Rather. Right in front of your nose it is.
Where?
A bit leftish of where I'm standing now. Do you see it?
Oh, it looks just like an old tree stump.
That may be, young man, but it's the wishing well for all of that. I can't...
What's that?
Strike me, Pink. That's the clock telling me it's time for more scrambled alarm clocks and bacon. I hate to have to dash off like this. No end, sorry. Cheerio.
Thanks,
goodbye.
Mr. Oliver.
Well, I guess it's up to us to look it over anyway. It doesn't look like a well from here now, does it?
It certainly doesn't. But come on.
Gee, I can't see over the top of it at all. Can you, Judy?
No, and I'm standing on my tiptoes, too.
I can see over it. Certainly is dark down there.
Stop taking up all the room, Crazy Quilt. Now, come on, let me look.
Oh, certainly. Want a boost, Patio Cinnamon?
No, I'll just climb up on your shoulder.
Just as you like. Making it all right?
Of course I'm making it all right. There. Well. I'm not making a pun, I hope you understand.
Oh, no.
There must be something to show it's a wishing well. A sign or some writing? Awfully dark down there.
What do you see, Cinnamon Bear?
Not a blessed thing, Jimmy. Just a minute. I'll lean over a little farther and... I'm slipping out.
Oh, my goodness.
He's fallen into the wishing well.
Oh, poor Cinnamon Bear.
Gee willikers, how will we ever get him out? It's deeper than anything.
Hello down there, Patio Cinnamon.
Yoo-hoo! Patty, can you hear us?
Hello. I can't hear you.
Are you all right?
Yes, but I'd surely like to get out of this awful place.
Is there any water down there?
No, but it's freezing cold. Brr. I don't like it one little bit. Thank goodness my extra special stuffing kept me from getting hurt.
Hang on down there, Cinnamon Bear, and don't be frightened. We'll get you out in no time.
But however will we do it, Crazy Quilt?
Let me see now. If we only had a rope.
But there wouldn't be any ropes around here.
Quite true. But we might look around for a tree branch to put down the well. He could scramble up on that.
All right, let's look.
How about this, Crazy Quilt?
Oh, it's too big for any of us to lift.
Well, here's one that's small enough.
Oh, no, that's dead. It would snap right under him.
I don't see anything else we could use. Do you, Jimmy?
No, not a thing. Say, I've got an idea.
What?
This is a wishing well, isn't it?
Of course it is. You know that.
Well, why don't we just wish him out?
Splendid. My, you're the smart one, Jimmy. Now, why didn't I think of that?
Look, there's a sign over here on this side of the well. I can't read it because it's kind of dark like. Can you read it, Crazy Quilt?
Just a minute. Sure enough. Why, it's some instructions for using the wishing well.
Jiminy Crickets, hurry up and read them.
Let's see. Wishing well wishes you well. Wish your wish and wait the spell.
Oh, hooray! Now we can save poor Cinnamon Bear.
Oh, wait. Here's a P.S. Be you 1 or 28. A single wish is all you rate. Oh, gracious me, this is dreadful, dreadful.
Why, Crazy Quilt?
Well, Melissa's instructions said the wishing well is where to go to find out what you want to know. And we wanted to know how to get the broken silver star back together again, didn't we?
Sure we did.
I'm positive Melissa meant for us to use the wish for that purpose.
And the sign says we can only have one wish. So if we use it to pull Cinnamon Bear out of the well, we won't be able to get the star fixed.
That's what it amounts to, Jimmy.
Well, I don't care. We've just got to get dear Patio Cinnamon out of that black old well. Of course, I'll feel awful about not getting our beautiful silver star mended. But Cinnamon Bear's our friend, and we can't leave him there. So we'll just hurry up and wish him out.
That's your privilege, Judy, but it seems to me that his carelessness doesn't deserve such loyalty. And remember, Christmas is getting closer and closer and closer. So if you expect...
Oh, dear. I don't know what to say. But poor Patty, I've just got to help him. Wishing well, I wish the Cinnamon Bear to be up here with us, right this very minute.
Oh, wow. Am I glad to be out of that. Excuse me just a moment while I shake out my extra special stuffing a bit.
We're so glad to see you again, Cinnamon Bear.
You bet. For a while, you had us pretty worried.
I hope you're satisfied, Patio Cinnamon, now that you've ruined the children's chances for getting their silver star fixed.
What do you mean? Say that again, you miserable excuse for a bed quilt.
Gladly, you cheap imitation fur coat.
Oh, what's that? Hold your tongue there, or I'll growl my most ferocious growl at you.
Ferocious growl, indeed. You do better to hang your stuffed head in shame. Judy and Jimmy have used up the only wish they can have just to fish you out of the well.
Is this true?
Well, just sort of.
It doesn't matter, Cinnamon Bear. You couldn't help it.
Oh, Judy. Jimmy, I'm so terribly sorry. I don't know what to say.
Now everything's going to be all right. And we'll get the silver star all fixed when we go back to Melissa and explain how we used up our wish.
Sure we will. Melissa's awful nice. She'll help us out again.
And speaking of helping us out, what do you say we help us out of the wishing woods?
That's the first sensible thing you've said in 5 minutes, Crazy Quilt. Oh, look. There's a sort of a path over there. It's not a very good one, but at least we can try it.
Might as well. Even if it doesn't take us out of the woods, maybe it will lead us to somebody who can tell us the way.
Spoken like a true pioneer, Jimmy. Onward!
It's an awful narrow path, Crazy Quilt. I think we'd all better go single file.
Oh, but definitely, Judy. I'm not at all anxious to have my beautiful patches torn by this underbrush.
Hey, I think I can see out of the woods.
Already? Why, this is the best luck we've had in ever so long.
The trees aren't so thick now. And I think there's a clear place ahead.
Oh, that will be a relief indeed.
What's the matter, Crazy? Have you been scared because it was so dark?
One more word out of you, Fuzzy Pants, and I'm very liable to forego my usual composure and paddle your cinnamon trousers for you.
Oh, yes?
I don't think we can get out this way.
Why not, Jimmy?
Well, there's nothing out here but mud. As far as I can see either way, mud.
Let me look. Jumping jellyfish. It's mud for a fact.
Bless my crazy quilt aunt if it isn't. A regular river of mud. Probably runs the whole length of the woods.
It doesn't look very wide.
No, but it's too wide to jump across, and I couldn't swim in that stuff. Ugh, it's thick and oozy, and no telling how deep. I'll have to draw the line there.
Oh, I see a sign over there, Cinnamon Bear.
What does it say?
Private. No muddling. Oh, my goodness.
I wonder what that could be. Oh, say! Which one of you threw that mud at me? Right in me eye.
Don't look at me. Though I might have the inclination, I'd hardly lower myself to mudslinging.
Jimmy and I wouldn't do it, Cinnamon Bear.
Well, who did it then? I'd like to know.
Yeah. Oh, my gracious. Look at that.
What are they?
Willikers. They look something like people, only they're all made out of mud. And they're 3 times bigger than we are.
Yeah. There's only 2 of them, thank goodness. But, oh, they're awful looking.
Let me handle them. This takes diplomacy. Greetings, fellow travelers. Who might you be?
Yeah. We're the muddlers. Here's how.
Whoa! Oh, you ruffians. Throw mud at Crazy Quilt, will you?
Yeah. And here's for the rest of you.
Oh, Jimmy!
Dear.
Don't let them do it.
You bet I won't. Hey, you let my my sister alone, you dirt and water bums.
Let him have it. He insulted us.
Right, Captain McMud.
Ha-ha, miss me.
What's wrong, Muttley? Losing your grip?
Sorry, Captain. Better luck this time. Yeah, here's mud in your eye.
Missed again.
Oh, Jimmy, I'm afraid. They're so big and ugly.
Wait a bit, dirty face. What prompts all this vicious mudslinging? I've never been so Oh, my beautiful color.
We need target practice, don't we, Captain McMud?
We'll teach you to come around our sacred mud baths.
Oh, got me again. Just wait till I get my paws on you.
How you doing, Muttley?
Fair to muddling, Captain. Got that fuzzy beast square on the schnozola.
He certainly did. I'm a cinnamon mess.
If your mother could only see you now.
I think we'll have to run for it. These muddlers are nasty creatures. Come on, children, back into the woods.
No, you don't. They're trying to get away, Muttley. Head them off.
Okay, Captain. Shall I yell for the rest of the mud guards?
No, we can handle them.
Maybe they'd let us go if we gave them something.
We haven't got anything to give them.
How about your little looking glass, Judy?
Yes, I'll try that. Would you muddlers let us alone if I gave you this pretty looking glass?
No, we don't want you to give us nothing. But here's something for you.
Oh, dear, got me again.
Yeah.
Poor Crazy Quilt. You're keeping those awful muddlers from hitting us.
Oh, that's all right. That's all right. Glad to help. Well, Paddy O'Cinnamon, what are you doing for the cause? Hiding behind me?
Not a bit of it. I'm thinking I am. Strategist, that's me.
Indeed. And what... Ouch. And what piece of strategy have you cooked up?
Well, it's coming. Well, tell you when I got it straight.
Well, if it's going to do us any good, you'd better get it soon.
Ouch! I got it.
So I noticed, right on the nose.
Oh, no, not that. I mean the idea. Judy, try the magic lunchbox. See if they'll let us go if you give it to them.
I'll try, Patty. Please, Mr. Muddlers. Look what I've got for you.
Yeah? Well, what is it?
It's a specially magical box with all sorts of goodies in it. Cookies and
Ready.
sandwiches and...
Sandwiches.
Hey, get out.
What's the matter? Wouldn't you like that?
No. We never eat anything but mud pies.
Oh, dear. Whatever can we do now?
Come on, Muttley. I'm fed up throwing mud. Let's give 'em the wikes.
You mean push them in the mud river?
Yeah, shove 'em in. Let 'em soak a while. Then we'll come back and make mud statues out of 'em.
No, don't. Jimmy, they're coming after us.
I can't.
Come on.
They've got us.
Oh, we're in for it now.
Yeah. You mean you're in it now. Help yourselves, friends. We'll be back after you're all soaked up.
Yeah.
Are you all right, Judy?
Oh, Jimmy, I can't touch bottom, and I just keep sinking.
Cinnamon Bear's got his mouth full of mud.
Climb on my back, everybody. Come on, Judy, Jimmy.
All right.
There. You made it, Paddy. Now I'll try and swim.
Please do, Crazy Quilt. Please do. You've just got to.
Can you do it, Crazy Quilt? Can you?
I can't make it.
Jimmy! We're sinking.
Oh, dear. Oh, agony. Mud to the left of us, mud to the right of us. Oh, I'm afraid it's all over with us.
Gee, if we weren't on Crazy Quilt's back, the mud would be way over our heads.
Try a little mudding through to the other side, Crazy Quilt. If we stay here much longer, we're sunk.
Please, Crazy Quilt, try again, please.
Oh, it's no use. Every time I move a leg, I sink in deeper.
Jimmy, hold the handkerchief with the silver star pieces high over your head.
All right, Judy, but I don't see what good it'll do now.
Can't hold on much longer. I'm going.
We're sunk.
Wait, somebody's coming.
Can you see who it is, Jimmy? I got mud in my eyes.
Why, it looks like cowboys. Hooray, we're saved.
Yo-ho, cowboys. Over this way, over here.
Take it easy, strangers. We're a-coming. All right, boys, throw 'em some ropes. I'll take the children. You lasso the bear, Lefty. And Hank, you and Gus better snag that dragon or whatever it is. You got 'em, boys? Okay, hang on tight, strangers. Here you go.
boy. Oh, boy, am I glad to be out of that mess.
How's that dragon critter coming along?
Right now!
Words cannot begin to express my gratitude.
Oh, you cowboys just got here in the nick of time, all right. Just like in the movies.
We don't know our noble rescuers' names, but...
Well, Slim's my name, partner. Slim Pickens.
Mr. Slim Pickens, I thank you in behalf of our little party. I shall speak to the proper authorities about a medal. Oh, yes, indeed. And I shall... Oh, tragedy. Look at me. I'm smeared with mud from my crazy quilt head to my crazy quilt tail.
Me too. My beautiful fur is ruined.
Well, don't worry, strangers. Won't be a minute afore that's gone.
What do you mean?
Oh, my goodness. All that mud's dropped right off.
Gee, the Crazy Quilt Dragon looks like he's just been dry cleaned.
Why, for pity's sakes, what's this?
It's magic. That's what it is.
That's right, partner. Soon as you step on this side, the mud just vamooses.
Oh, my goodness. Such a relief. Why, look, everybody. How beautiful it is here. All purple. It didn't look like there was anything like this when we were over on the other side.
Yes, miss. This here's the Purple Plain. You can't see it from t'other side the mud pond, 'cause those muddler varmints don't like purty colors at all. And they just naturally likes to hide it from everybody. Why, those pesky mavericks are the orneriest bunch of creation. I guess they had it in for your dragon partner here in account he's such a fancy-dressed hombre.
Look, Judy, they're all riding big black beetles instead of horses. Say, are you regular cowboy Slim?
Well, Sonny, I reckon we are.
A little bit different, but still cowboy.
That's right, Lefty. Oh, hi, Glowworm Gus.
Yo.
Start up a song. Let 'em know who we are, huh? Come on, sing.
You've read about cowboys of every description. You've read about Injuns and Buffalo Bill, but none of those softies could ever compare with us Cockaboo cowboys from Lollipop Hill. Yippee-yi-okay, when we're all in the saddle, there's nothing so handsome, a foot for a straddle. Yippee-yi-okay, with a Cockaboo cowboy, stand up in your stirrups and take a big bow, boys. Each evening at sundown we round up the glowworms who light up the streets and the houses at night. The glowworms eat sunflower seeds in the daytime, which makes them especially brilliant and bright. Yippee-yi-okay, in the long little glowworms, you've got to get going and not be such slow ones. Yippee-yi-okay, shake a leg now and get up, or the little toy town will never get lit up.
Gee, are these your own glowworms?
No, Sonny.
We keep 'em for Melissa.
Melissa. Do you know Melissa?
Well, we sure do, don't we, boys? Who's the prettiest little boss in this neck of the woods? Melissa!
I heartily concur with your opinion regarding our beloved ruler.
What does he mean, Patty Cinnamon?
You mean he thinks so, too?
Well, we sure would like to see Melissa again.
Well, what's your trouble, little miss?
We went to see her about getting our beautiful silver star fixed, and she told us what to do.
To wish it back together again at a wishing well.
But our fuzzy friend here unfortunately spoiled our plans by falling into the wishing well, so they had to use up the wish to get him out.
And if we could see Melissa again, we thought maybe she'd tell us something else to do.
Yes, we just got to get our silver star fixed.
'Cause it belongs on top of our Christmas tree. And it just won't be Christmas without it.
Well, now, I'm sure sorry to hear about all the trouble you folks has had. But maybe you won't have to go all the way back to see Melissa.
What do you mean, my friend?
Well, now, I'll just show you. Hey, Lefty, you got your looking glass with you?
Nope, Slim. Left it in the bunkhouse.
Oh, shucks. No wonder we call you Lefty. Always leaving things behind when they're needed.
I've got a little looking glass.
You have? Well, that's right nice. Now, if you'll just let me have it a bit, it'll show you a trick. Now, first, I take my hat.
I bet he's just like that Mr. Presto the magician.
Well, don't know the party you mentioned, but here's the idea. Now, if you put this looking glass inside my 10-gallon hat, pretty soon you can see Melissa and talk to her.
Oh, that's wonderful, Mr. Slim.
You better do the talking, Judy.
All right. Here's the looking glass,
All
Mr.
right,
Slim.
now put it down here in my 10-gallon hat. That's it. Now, you just think real hard that you want to see Melissa.
I'm thinking ever so hard. I see her. I see her in the looking glass. Oh, Melissa, we've had such a time. She doesn't answer me.
Well, you can't hear her say anything, little miss, but she can hear you. Now, you go along and tell her your troubles.
All right. Melissa, dear, we did just what you told us and went to the wishing well. But poor Patty O'Cinnamon fell in when he was looking down inside it. And we had to use up the only wish we could have to get him out. So we couldn't wish our star back together again. Would you please tell us what we can do now to get it mended? She's smiling.
She heard you all right, little miss.
Oh, she's writing something on a piece of paper. Now she's holding it up for me to see. Underneath the singing tree, another clue you're sure to see. Oh, now she's gone.
I wonder what she's talking about. Underneath the singing tree. It's just like a treasure hunt. You go one place to find out another place to go.
Well, Melissa knows what she's talking about, so you better do as she says.
What is the singing tree? Do you know, Mr. Slim?
Well, it seems to me I have.
I've heard tell about it. Supposed to be in the Golden Grove.
Where's that?
Well, that's straight across the Purple Plain.
If you look real hard, you can see it glistening over yonder, way over.
I see it, a regular sparkle.
So do I, distinctly.
Well, we're mighty sorry we can't take you clear across the Purple Plain, but we got a job to do, you know. I got to round up them glowworms.
Well,
thanks,
goodbye.
Sure nice of
all
you.
right. Well, come on, boys. I got to get moving.
Well,
Well, so long, partners, and I hope you get your star right pronto. All right, boys, let's ride.
Yippee, yippee, look at them ride. What a sight. My. They may be a bit wild and woolish, but I like them, definitely.
So do I. I don't know what would have happened to us if they hadn't turned up.
Well, come on. We've got a long way to go. Let's get started.
Yes, let's not waste any time.
If you'll excuse me, I'm getting awful anxious to find the Golden Grove with the singing tree, like Melissa told us to do.
You bet. And Christmas is getting closer and closer. And we've just got to get the silver star mended before we go back home.
Well, the Golden Grove is still a long way off, and we have to get around this mess of cactus first.
I wish we had the airplane which we left at the bottom of Looking Glass Valley.
Well, if we did have it, it wouldn't do us any good, 'cause it'd be too small for Crazy Quilt to get into. And anyway, it had holes in the tank where the stork poked his bill through it.
And we didn't have any more soda pop to run it besides.
Oh, dear.
Would you feel inclined toward a bit of piggyback, Crazy Quilt? I think we might make better time.
Why, I'm just in the mood for piggyback. Hop on, and I'll take you on a personally conducted tour of the Purple Plain.
Hooray! Oh, my. I thought we'd never get here.
Boy, this is sure something.
It's the Golden Grove, or I'm a cinnamon so-and-so.
Couldn't be anything else. Why, these trees are every one just as gold as can be. I never saw anything like it.
My goodness. I touched that one, and it felt just like a real honest-to-goodness tree.
Gee, isn't it funny? They're all just about the same size and shape and everything.
They're laid out like an orchard, aren't they? Stretching as far as I can see.
Even the grass and the moss are a sort of greenish gold.
Well, it's certainly awful pretty. But how are we going to know which one of these trees is the singing tree? They all look alike.
Oh,
What's that?
The wintergreen witch.
Judy, the looking glass. Quick, show her the looking glass.
Oh, Jimmy, I can't.
Oh, my poor stuffing.
What's that? No looking glass? It's very kind of you to tell me that you no longer have that dreadful looking glass with you.
Oh, dear.
That was the only thing that bothered me. Now, my pretties, it's Wintergreen's turn.
Oh, why do you have to disturb us? We promised to leave the island of Obi, and we did. We haven't done anything to hurt you.
Oh, you haven't, eh? Well, it happens that you've caused me a great deal of trouble. A great deal too much trouble indeed.
What did we do?
Do? I'll tell you what you did. Didn't you go to see Melissa?
Sure we did.
And you had the colossal impudence to tell her about meeting me. And what does she do? Just banishes me from the island of Obi. That's all.
I remember Melissa's remark about your practicing unlicensed magic. But surely you realize that you were breaking the law and should be punished.
Oh, indeed. And who is Melissa to make laws for Wintergreen the Witch? That empty-headed little minx? Before she became ruler of Mabyland, I was the ruler of the island of Obi. And now she takes away my magic forest. All my fine captives gone. Just turns me out of my home, that's all.
Oh, goody. I bet Fee-Fo the gentle giant got out of your magic forest.
Yes, he did. And it's all due to you. Melissa just this minute pronounced judgment on me and magic-coded me off the island. But I'll fool her. I'm a better magic maker than she is anyway. You'll see.
Well, what are you going to do?
You'll see, I said. I'll make Melissa sorry that she ever commanded me to leave the island of Obi, never to return.
I can't understand why Melissa let such a dangerous creature run loose in Mabyland.
I'm going to make life pretty miserable for Melissa and the people of Mabyland, and I think I'll begin with you.
With us? You mean, cruel, ugly old witch. You just better not.
What can you do to stop me now? First of all, give me your silver star.
But it's all broken.
Broken in a dozen pieces.
What do you want with a broken star?
I'll make 1,000 stars out of it. Hand it over.
I will not, you old buzzard.
I said hand it over.
Oh, gee willikers. Here it is.
Now, please, will you let us go?
No, my pretties. You're not going to have the chance to interfere with me again, no indeed.
Oh, come now. None of us has any intention of interfering with you, my good woman.
Don't call me a good woman.
A good witch, then.
Don't call me good. I'm wicked, I am. I'm Wintergreen the Witch, and you dare to call me good.
Well, I'm sure I didn't know.
You talk too much, Crazy Quilt Dragon. But you won't much longer.
Oh, dear. I'm so scared, Jimmy.
Oh, don't be scared, Judy.
Yes, maybe she's joking.
Somehow, I don't just think she is.
Oh, dear. I wish Melissa could see this mean old witch trying to make trouble for us again.
Melissa? Melissa can't save you now.
I bet she could if she knew you were making magic when she told you not to.
Perhaps if she knew it. But she doesn't know it, and I'm going to make certain this time you won't do any more talking. I'm going to change you all into...
Into what?
I'm going to change you into bullfrogs.
Bullfrogs?
And you'll be able to do is croak. That's all. Croak. And the sooner you croak, my pretties, the better I like it.